Tomorrow marks 100 years since the League of Nations adopted the Geneva Declaration of the Rights of the Child. That document, written by the Save the Children founder, declared children are people, not the possessions of adults, and therefore deserve to have their own fundamental rights. It's a cause Princess Mabel Van Oranje of the Netherlands knows well through her work with Vow for Girls, which aims to end child marriage around the world. Take a look.
In the world where young girls are married off, that's a world where a child cannot enjoy their childhood. The world where every girl is educated, is able to thrive and achieve their dreams is a world where we shall see girls able to participate in decision-making, take on leadership positions, and become champions. When education is embraced, every girl will shine. I love that world. Everyone should love that world.
Indeed, the organization partners with brands and wedding industry professionals to raise awareness and funds to end child marriage. Vow for Girls co-founder Princess Mabel Van Oranje joins me now for more. Princess Mabel, thank you so much for coming on. How did you get involved in this work, and why is it so important to you?
I learned about this work when I was working with Archbishop Tutu for an organization called The Elders, and we realized that there are 12 million girls who get married every year before the age of 18. That is a girl every 3 seconds. So it's one girl, another one, another one.
Wow.
And it happens all over the world, across continents and religions. And these girls are then often pulled out of school. They become pregnant often while their bodies are still the bodies of children. They're much more likely to become the victims of violence at the hands of their husbands. And I think this is wrong. I remember at some point going to Ethiopia, North Ethiopia, and I met this girl who told me that she was married off when she was between 5 and 7 years old.
Wow,
and my daughters at the time were 5 and 6 years old. And I thought if they had been born there and not to me, that might have been their future. Now, I think every girl anywhere in the world deserves opportunity of the choices for what she wants to do and how she wants to live her lives. And so that's why I'm so committed to this cause.
Now, according to UNICEF, and I want to read this, 720 million women alive today were married as children. So what do you want people to know about this issue, and why do you think it's not talked about more?
I think it's talked about so little because these girls are minors. They're often living in rural places. They don't speak English often, so it's very hard for them to self-organize. But the fact that they're invisible doesn't mean that we shouldn't help them. And that's why we created Vow for Girls, because we realized many people want to do something. And by Vow for Girls, what we're doing is trying celebrations of love. When people get married, when people celebrate 5 or 10 or 15 years of marriage, they can easily turn that into a fundraiser to make sure that they mobilize money that we then spend in Africa, in Asia, and in Latin America to make sure that girls all over the world can choose the lives they want to live and only marry if they want and when they want and with whom they want.
Now, former Facebook COO Sheryl Sandberg and her husband chose to donate money to Vow for Girls for their wedding. But you're saying you don't have to be a millionaire or a billionaire to help here. So what can the rest of us do?
So anybody who's celebrating a happy moment or who wants to make a donation just because they hear about this cause now can donate to Vow for Girls. And I think it's important to know that 100% of all the money that's donated goes to the projects in Africa, Asia, and Latin America. It goes directly into the hands of people working on the ground to change this, to support girls staying in school, to help girls' clubs where girls learn about their rights, to help parents understand that this might seem the right thing to do, but it's actually harmful. And small amounts of money go a very long way.
It's been 100 years now since this Declaration of the Rights of the Child. How far do you think we've come, and what more needs to be done?
We've come a long, long way to respect the rights of girls and also the rights of women. We shouldn't forget them. But there's still a lot to be done. Still too often, and we see that especially now with climate change getting so bad, it's the girls that carry the burden of what's happening. Schools that are washed away and then not reconstructed. Parents who, because the harvest is failed, they don't have enough money to feed all their children, so they marry their daughters off, because then they have one less mouth to feed. So there's also setback, but we know that with the money we're mobilizing, we can actually really make a difference in the lives of girls. So I encourage everybody to join this fight.
Thank you so much. It's amazing the work you're doing, giving voice to the voiceless, truly. Princess Mabel, thank you.
Thank you.